released May 2020 on PC, Switch, Xbox One, Linux, Mac, and PS4 by developer and publisher Awesome Game Studio. Fury Unleashed is one of the best roguelites I've played all year. Thanks to the publisher for the review code. Fury Unleashed is a roguelite high-intensity action platformer that sees you battling your way through 4 comic book-style levels: Awakening of the Ancient Gods, Operation Crimson Dusk, Earth's Last Stand, and the Sketchbook. You can take on these levels alone or in co-op mode. I wasn't able to try the co-op mode, so this review is single player all day. The story here isn't much, but it is presented in a creative way. You are a comic book character who, upon being thrown into this chaos, is told by the mysterious Mr. Doodle that your creator has become bored with you and overall listless towards the whole comic book universe creation process, and it's up to you to regain his faith to ensure the continuity of your existence. There's a bit of a twist down the line, but you see where I'm coming from when I allude to this being a ho-hum story. Its execution, however, saves it. The entire world of Fury Unleashed revolves around a comic book theme, where not only do you go from page to page, chapter to chapter, but even between stages you will see phone and text conversations between the creator and others. The fourth wall break approach keeps the story relevant, regardless of how basic and juvenile it may be. Fury Unleashed spent a while in development, and it shows in many areas. The visuals here look very refined for what this is. The comic book aesthetic plays out real well here. The animations, particle effects, and environments all lend to one smooth indie experience. The option to turn the gore off and on is also welcomed, but of course I left it on, and if there was an option to crank it up a little higher, I would. This all adds to the already satisfying visual presentation. As with a lot of indies, there are no cutscenes really. At least no cinematic cutscenes. This could have helped by adding a bit more to the overall presentation and story delivery. The audio is good. When the game just started up, I thought for at least 2 seconds that the intro track was the same as the one in Killer Instinct. It wasn't, but it starts off very similar. Similar or not, the music was well suited for the game this is. The sound effects, particularly those of the guns, were also extremely satisfying. My only issue with the sound was the lack of voice acting. With all Mr. Doodle and the various enemies had to say, I would have preferred voice over text, or both. I understand that comic books don't talk, but this is 2020, so maybe they should. Where gameplay is concerned, Fury Unleashed delivers for all the sadomasochist, roguelite, and roguelike lovers out there. The difficulty can get real high between managing your combos, choosing the best weapons suited for your playstyle, accepting or rejecting the various challenges and offers throughout the levels from your various helpers, which range from armorers, gunsmiths, blood bankers, and even the devil himself. There is no shortage of gameplay options here to suit almost every playstyle. So although the game is tough, it's tough within reason. There is also an extremely flexible and customizable easy mode, which allows you to gauge many things from the damage you endure to the strength and resistance levels of your attackers. So although it's a genre that's known for its high difficulty, there are comfort options for newcomers and casuals. Fury Unleashed is also a relatively short experience. Now, while most things in existence can be considered relative, I say it this time because although you only go through 4 short levels, how long it takes to do this is really dependent on individual skill levels. I saw a colleague of mine who's also a Guinness World Record holder finish the original Strider in a Barcade recently in under 30 minutes. My reason for bringing this up is classic games like Strider and Contra are basically short games and can be beaten in minutes if your skill level is up there. But some have been trying to beat the original Contra for decades without that 30 lives trick and can't to this day. So although Fury Unleashed only has 4 levels, how short it is depends on what you're capable of. I like the boss characters, not the most creative, but they certainly put up a fight and they look great while doing so. Each level has 3 sub-bosses, and if you manage to beat all 3, you're given the option to start at the beginning of that level, instead of having to drudge through the game from the beginning each time, in true roguelike fashion. This option was quite considerate on the devs' part, as that's why the roguelite and roguelike genres will never be my favorites. I abhor doing things over. Good news is, and again in true roguelike fashion, the leveling up mechanic is quite robust. The more you die, the more you try, is the more powerful you become. With this, you're able to power through certain parts with greater ease. So while roguelikes and lights aren't necessarily my cup of tea, I know a quality production when I see it, and the devs presented just that with this little indie gem. Fury Unleashed is available on so many platforms. Just about everyone can give it a go, and I'm thinking you should. AAA games are all well and good, but many times, if you'd like a truly unique experience, one off the beaten path, then the indie scene is where you want to be. Show your support for independent game developers. Most if not all indie games are priced relatively low. Some are even free with the option to donate, so there's really no reason to pass. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If I pissed you off for some reason, then we all know where to find the various hate buttons, don't we? Either way, I won't hold it against you. Our game is never over.